Welcome to the DnA podcast, the best podcast in the world, even though we only have one episode. I am your host, Angel, otherwise known as King Angel. I'm joined here by my co-host and good friend, Mr. Simply Cross, or known as Devereaux or Dev. Dev, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fucking perfect, man.
Oh my God, bro.
I stuttered on my words, but I'm doing perfect, man. It's fucking amazing.
Okay.
At least it rained this morning. At least I got to experience
It did rain this morning. Now, it should serve to note that we are recording in my car. It is hot as fuck, but that's why I was recording the audio instead of the video, because we don't have anywhere to record video as of yet, because we don't know how to set shit up yet, even though it's like the first fucking episode.
But soon we'll get towards that.
Soon we will have video. I will also say, I was not supposed to be part of this podcast originally. Like, in the beginning, DnA was not supposed to be a thing at all. We all met at work, right?
So how the story began, our coworker from work named Arel was the one that started this podcast first. She was the one that was introducing me to it because I was working in the back area. We both work at the same company together, and yeah, so we have not our own company, but we work under a company that we
work for a major retailer.
Yeah, so we work in the back together, and our friend also works like in the front, on the field, or in the back room area. But she was the one that was introducing me to actually starting this podcast, and it was very interesting at first. I didn't expect to, because I had little details of myself that I wouldn't possibly actually do it, because I'm not very good at talking at certain points in like podcasts or videos I have done. Most of the times I was quiet, but I'm finally actually overgrowing myself and actually getting myself to do something.
Although I will say, the only reason I'm here is because Arel's schedule and her personal life didn't allow her to do the podcast with Dev. So I kind of just like stole her thunder and said, fuck it, I'll do it. And I came up with the name DnA because my name is Angel, his name is Dev, DnA, corny as fuck, but it just rolls off the tongue. So eventually we will have video and be more professional, but for now I think we'll just do audio, see how this comes out, and even though it's the first episode, hopefully we can get into some good talking points.
Yeah, some more things in the future. We plan on doing more. This is just the first episode of a test that we're trying to do, but at least we're getting towards our first option of our episode of now.
Yeah, I feel like once we get more comfortable and figure out how
we set up everything
everything exactly, we can, be more professional and eventually reach the point where we can be like somewhat respectable in the podcast world. Because I know podcasts as of now are a dime a dozen. Everybody and their mother has a goddamn podcast, and people are gonna say, well, why the fuck did you start a podcast when everybody else has a podcast? Because I want to chat shit. If other people can chat shit, I want to chat shit too.
True.
I have to sit and listen for like about 45 minutes to an hour of people I don't know and listen to them have a conversation. I want to have a fucking conversation. I want to chat my shit. I want to say all of my opinions. I'm doing it too.
That's because Jesus Christ is my nigga.
But yes, the reason why we started this podcast is because I've been listening to other people podcasts as well, like, I don't know, Morbid Girls. I know they're very popular over here, and I forgot what else podcast. I know I listen to Markiplier's podcast.
I listen to so many fucking podcasts. I used to listen to Call Her Daddy. I'm not gonna lie. I listened to I think it was Logan Paul that got them shut down. Yeah, she said some shit to Logan Paul, and then Logan Paul said fuck that, and she got him canceled. Although I don't know if it's back on the air as of now, but I know Logan Paul has something to do with Call Her Daddy. I also watched this other podcast called Stiff Socks. That's with Trevor Wallace and Michael Blaustein. They're fucking hilarious and horny as shit. Yeah, those are the horniest motherfuckers I've ever met. Who else do I watch?
Man, there are crazy podcasters out there.
You
just gotta hear, right?
You gotta hear the amount of just unsolicited and wild shit these motherfuckers say. Like, the shit I've heard on podcasts is just wild.
Really wild. There's some stories that I heard and I'm like, what the fuck? This is crazy how people react.
You watch the Joe Rogan podcast?
Fuck, man, I haven't really got to listen to him, but I
have never, not once, watched the Joe Rogan podcast.
Me either.
Never
I have not even
day in my life.
I have heard it, but I have not touched it.
I know that Joe Rogan is like a popular ass podcast. Never watched it. Never, not once. I refuse to watch it because watching Joe Rogan, I feel like, is watching Game of Thrones. Everybody and their mother was watching Game of Thrones. I've never watched a single episode. I've never even seen the goddamn intro.
No, I have. Well, I have not fully watched Game of Thrones. I probably watched like part of episodes here and there with my sister.
You read the books?
No, I have not read the book yet.
You read it all?
Yes, I do read.
Like actual books with no pictures?
Yes. without pictures. Yeah, I'm not a beginner book.
The Cat in the Hat.
Yeah,
Dr. Seuss.
I was reading a Dr. Seuss a while ago.
Did you hear the shit about Dr. Seuss? Apparently he was some type of like fucked up individual.
Oh, I heard, yes.
He was one sick bastard.
Damn, but he comes up with some sick ass rhymes.
Yeah, that motherfucker went crazy. Green eggs and ham is my shit.
Oh,
fuck out of here. Green eggs and ham is my shit.
There was one story I was reading at work, man. It was with our other coworker I was working with that night named Emily. Damn.
Emily, the skinny girl?
Yeah, Emily.
The small girl? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was reading, we were both like in the men's and kids area, and we were just like, oh, fucking look, there's the books. And so I grab a book, and I was just like stuttering on every damn word of a Dr. Seuss book as I was first.
You graduated
reading.
school, right?
Yeah, I graduated.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, I was trying to read a Dr. Seuss book, but damn, I stuttered on my words so damn bad. I was embarrassed of myself. But once I started improving with another book, it started to actually grow from there. Then once Emily picked out a book, oh my god, the fucking book she picked out was somewhat for a dog. And the whole story was just nothing but bark, 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 bark. No, like the whole way through the whole book, it's just bark, bark.
So you found a book, I'm assuming it's at least 5 different pages, and it's just the word bark repeatedly?
Yes.
Where's their photos?
But like a whole story with it inside the book where he's saying bark, bark. I don't know. She was reading the book.
And you sat there and listened to her say bark repeatedly?
Yeah, it's just reading her.
Are you a fucking serial killer?
We were just laughing about it because it was like a fucking unweird book just to come up across. It's just pick up and random, and all you hear is bark, 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 bark.
Oh my god! See, that's some shit you do with when you're high. But speaking about high, Dev, you are an avid smoker, are you not?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay.
That's how you make good friendship.
Shut up. I'm gonna say this right now. Dev is in my car and he has like a Raw hat on. Raw is a company for rolling papers for weed. This is the biggest fucking weed that I've ever fucking met.
Oh no. This is Raw Thoughts. This is a
Yeah, but Raw is still the company. You bought that from Raw, didn't you?
No. I bought this from a rapper. His name is Chris Webby.
What the
Nope.
What the fuck kind of a name is Chris Webby?
Well, his name is Christian Webster. He's from Connecticut.
We are somewhere within the northeastern United States. We do live in New England, but that's about as much information as being put out there.
So if none of you know Chris Webby, I will put up a little clip of what his music is, but I know I probably might get copyright claim for it. So yeah.
I think you got like a good 15 seconds before it's copyrighted.
I'm just gonna put a good 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds is good.
Why is everyone afraid of me? I get it, I'm fucking crazy, B.
Yeah, but that's how I met him. He was doing like a little meet and greet somewhere in...
Oh, hold on, the Fed is coming. That's a nice ass police car. So this police car that just passed by was a Dodge Durango, which is very weird because Dodges are only used in the sedans, which is the Charger. They don't really use Durangos because Durango's an SUV. They usually use the Ford Explorer as the SUV for the police force, which is very fucking weird that they would have a Durango. I will say, Dev does live in a really nice neighborhood. I live in the fucking ghetto. I live in the boonies, like in the hood. I've always lived in the hood. But Dev, like, out of all the places, I've only seen Dev live at 2 places since I've met him. Both places are really, really nice. And I could only
Plus
assume...
expensive, man. It's really fucking expensive.
Listen, I got a friend who lives about 45 minutes from here who pays $3,000 in rent.
Yeah.
And she got a second floor. She got a second floor, a laundry room, big ass living room, like her own bathroom. Like an ensuite bathroom.
I remember we had that in the last apartment.
Oh my god, I would kill for an ensuite bathroom. That shit is fucking But that's besides the point. I think the first time I smoked, weed for me has always been in my life because my dad used to be like an avid smoker.
Mm-hmm.
So like he used to be the type of person to be like, you would ask him what he's doing. You would know he's smoking weed, but he'd be like, oh, I'm not doing nothing. I'm gonna just go out and cough for a few minutes. And so I didn't really touch weed until I moved here because I'm not from this state. I'm from a different state, which I'm not gonna say because I don't want to dox myself. So I was working at a different job at another retailer before I was working with Dev, and I made some friends there that I still am friends with today, and they were like, yo, we better go smoke up or spark up, you want to come with? And I don't know what it is about pieheads. Y'all love getting a person high for the first time. Y'all fucking love that shit. The second you tell someone, oh, I ain't never smoked weed before, guaranteed free weed. Yeah. Guaranteed free weed. Yes. I didn't pay shit. These gangsters bought the weed, grinded weed. I should say, do you grind your weed or do you keep it in clumps?
I do grind my weed, but I do love the cones as well. They're both amazing. That's all I can say, but...
Marijuana and cannabis is legal in the state that we are in.
You could just walk into the dispensary with
That
your
is
ID,
correct.
you're good.
Please be 21 years of age before you smoke marijuana. Don't be like us. Make smart decisions.
This is not sponsored.
This is not sponsored by marijuana, CBD, or any other
Or cannabis products.
or any other cannabis products, unless y'all want to sponsor. So I go and I tell them, they're like, "Oh, we're about to spark you up." So we go. Mind you, they take us to the most beautiful fucking spot.
Of course, every stoner knows a good spot.
They take me, mind you, because they didn't have a car, and I didn't have a license, but I had a car because I got a car before I got a license. So we go, and they think I have a license, but I keep it quiet. So we go. I'm at this waterfall at this park. It's nice as shit. Everybody's taking pictures, and then boom, they roll up. And to this point, like, I knew what weed was because I have friends who smoke weed. But I was never one of those that said, "Oh, weed is the devil's lettuce. You can't smoke weed." I was just like, you know what? You smoke weed, that's cool. I'm not into it, but maybe one day. And today was the fucking day.
I always laugh about that when people say that's the devil's weed. I'm like, bruh, there's nothing bad about it. It's a plant. It's grown.
I read somewhere that you have to smoke like thousands of pounds of weed in order to overdose on it.
I don't think that's true.
Like, I don't, like, couple hundred. I don't know. I just know you need to smoke
gotta
a
be
lot
at Cheech and Chong and
Nah,
Snoop Dogg's level.
Nah, because Cheech and Chong and Snoop Dogg, they still alive. They smoke crazy.
Yeah.
I heard, you know who Chief Keef is?
Yes.
I heard Chief Keef say that he smoked 2 ounces a day.
Damn. That's
2 ounces a day.
That's about like $500 right there.
Well, when you're a rapper and you got
Yeah.
money, that's like 2 cents to you.
Yeah, it's going nowhere.
Money lose. That's the thing I don't like about rappers. Rappers don't respect money at all.
They just let it go.
They just have fuck you money, like, for no reason. That's why I don't like rappers. Why the fuck is this person who gangbangs and kills people make good music and they get paid hundreds or millions of dollars in order to just be himself?
Yep.
I don't like that shit. Why can't I get paid millions of dollars to be myself? I'm great at being myself.
Same,
I'm great at being myself. Ain't nobody doing it better than me. You can't be more me than me. I'm great at it.
I used to be a rapper. That's how I first started my channel. But after a little constellations in my life, I took a break from it and I just stopped doing it because it wasn't really my thing anymore. But that really helped me gain me a lot of fans of that. But the reason why I stopped because of it was because of one person, and that really fucking, I didn't say really hurt me, but it really kind of fucking turned my frown upside down from what I was making. So I was like, nah, this is not for me. So I ended up changing my content on YouTube to something else. So that's what you guys are seeing now. It's just a bunch of live streams of my gaming. Well, I'm trying still my best. I still want to continue doing music, but at the same time, I just don't have the confidence of myself to actually.
You do have a smooth voice, though. I will say that. Dev got the smoothest motherfucking voice I done ever seen. This motherfucker can put me to... I want to sleep on the bed with your voice.
I do play guitar, so basically I could probably sing along to it.
So this motherfucker is a damn panty dropper. He got the smooth voice, and he plays guitar. You're every high school girl's dream in 2009.
Oh my god, bro! I had so many crushes like that back in my days.
That plays fucking guitar and
yeah.
Dev also has side bangs. So, like, Dev really is, like, every high schooler's dream in 2009, because Dev is still rocking the side bang. I will say, it does really suit you.
And I feel like some of my coworkers at work do have a crush on me because of that. I'm like, oh, man.
Because I will say, a while ago, I'm talking back in November, December of last year, I don't think you were working at that time. Because
I came in October.
You came in October?
Yeah.
So you were there for, like, a month already?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had went to the break room. And I'm going to say, all right, so C was there. C is one of our supervisors. I'm going to use first initials. So C and K were there. And C goes and tells me, "Oh, Angel, you have a secret admirer." And K goes, "I can't wait to find out what it is." Now, I will say, K has it out for me. K lives to make my life fucking difficult. K's in her 50s, okay? K's in her 50s and C's in her 40s. And they're both menaces to fucking society and deserve to be put in a goddamn mental hospital. I don't know how the fuck they're fucking running this business, but they get shit done.
But hearing their conversations, man, oh my God.
Their conversations are so out of fucking pocket. and I'm gonna say Batman, because Batman's what I call the other one. We have so many supervisors for so many different departments for our retail store.
It's really funny. I love it too. And sometimes just hearing
it is, because that way when you get in trouble, you can go to like another one and just be like, they're bullying me, and just fucking just get out of trouble completely. There'd be so many times. So there's been like 4 or 5 times where I was working with Z, and I just go up to Z. I'm like, yo, Z, I don't want to work. And Z just be telling me, you want to leave at 10? I'm like, it's 8:30. Fuck it, I'm leaving at 10. Z has come in clutch for me so many times that it's not even funny. Z's got to be like my favorite. It would go like, out of supervisors, it'd probably be, I don't know.
I don't know. That's a hard choice for me too, man.
Z is definitely up there. Like, out of supervisors, Z probably up there, and then probably like fearless leader. Fearless leader is what we call like our general manager, because he's like one of the only males there, so we call him fearless leader. At least I do. What do you call fearless leader?
I call him an underdog because...
You call him an underdog? Oh, yeah.
Reason why, because he's an underdog. He comes up to me. He oh my God, it feels like I'm a top dog to him. That's why. The way he acts in front of me, man, is so damn hilarious. I'm like,
he is so fucking funny. Oh, we should say, we are one of, I think, how many... There's
only a couple of males.
There's only a couple of guys at our job. There's like 90% women, 10% males, and I think that's being generous. I think there's even more females, because I think...
Not trying to be rude on anything else, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's me, it's you, it's M, it's fearless leader, and then a couple of like front end, like guys who work the cash register, but I don't know them. Yeah. So I think there's like 7, 8 people, because I don't know who works in the evening time. I've never worked in the evening. We do work in the mornings.
I work in the mornings as well, but sometimes during the nights. It's usually...
I've never worked at night.
Oh,
ever.
Really?
Never. I'm coming up on a year working there and never worked at night.
It's usually sometimes boring. I'm not gonna lie.
It seems boring as fuck, and it just drags on. Here's what I don't like. Okay.
Because look, I'll tell you. Once you get towards your department area, oh my God, you stay in that area until you get everything cleaned up. Once everything is cleaned up, you have nothing for the rest of your damn hours to do other than just
recover and just fucking making it look
around.
pretty. I don't fucking like that. Here's my issue with working night times. You have the rest of the day to just do shit, but you know that at the end of the night, you're gonna have to go to work. Like me, if I work in the morning, I know after that, I don't have shit else to do. But if you work at night, you can go to the beach, do grocery shopping, and then you're super tired and be like, oh shit, I gotta go work at 4 or 5.
Oh, damn.
See, me, I wake up like I'm going to school, I get out early. My philosophy is you go in early, you get out early, and that's that. I don't like that shit. I love working in the mornings.
I do that too. I love working in the mornings, but sometimes I hate being an ass getting up at fucking early.
I cannot be bothered to go to work at 4 in the afternoon. Because I used to do that shit when I was like in school. Like I used to go to school from 8 to 2, and then I had like an hour. It took me an hour to get home, by the way. I didn't qualify for a bus because we had to live like 3 miles. I lived 2.9 away from the school. So I was really assed out. So I'd get out at 2, walk an hour home, and then at 4, I would have to go to work. And I work from 4 to 9.
Oh.
It shit assed me out. And the bus, because I used to take the bus to go to work, because the bus didn't pick me up as like the public bus. And after that, after 8:30, bus didn't pick up people. I used to work in the mall. The bus didn't pass after 8:30. I got off at 9. I had to walk 3 hours home. I didn't get home till midnight. And then I had to like do my chores at 1 in the morning.
Damn,
and then go to sleep. It's just, so ever since then, I was like, I'm never working in the fucking nighttime ever again. I'm working in the mornings. Fuck that. Hell no.
Damn, I think this is like the only job that I ever got to work a night shift. Most of the other jobs I had were just nothing but on-site on the day shifts. But I really enjoyed it though. It's kind of enjoyable doing the night shift sometimes when you have the perfect people. But if you have like the worst people, oh my God, it's gonna be dragging hell. But yes. Also, let me continue the story about my story about how fucked up I got.
Yeah. I gotta finish the story about like when I first smoked weed. Like we're going off on all these different. We have so much to talk about, and I think it's a good be the fact that like we can't focus on shit.
Yeah, we jump off.
I am the most unfocused motherfucker I've ever met. I will tell you a story that goes from A to B, but I will go like A, C, D, E, G, H because you need all this fucking context.
He's gonna finish the alphabet for you.
Yeah, exactly. I will finish the alphabet before I get to the second letter. Like that's how fucking wild my storytelling is. Cause you just need a bunch of context for other shit.
Yes.
Like I recently met Nolan North.
Oh my
But-
God, bro! We need to
I do need to talk about that, but go ahead and finish your story.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But first, my story again of my first experience, how messed up I got from smoking. So, I was with my brother. So we both live. Well, he lives down the hill from my place. So basically, it's like
From this place?
no, from New Mexico, where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like for my Hispanics, I've seen some Zazon, Zadobo, some weird shit like. Oh yeah, I am also Dominican. I'm Dominican and Puerto Rican. Puerto Rico born, raised by Dominican parents. Dev is Native American.
Well, let me say that. But yes, I am Native American. So I've been born and raised in New Mexico for my family. Full blood Native Americans.
Full blood Native American. Wow.
Yes, my grandpa and my grandma are full blood. My mom and dad are full blood, and that's what made me. So
Yeah, you see, now I can't. I wish I was full blooded. I'm mixed. I won't say what I wish. What type of full blood I am. I'm just gonna let people argue whether I wanted to be full blood Puerto Rican or full blood Dominican, because it's funny to see like I guess you could say turf war, because there's nothing funnier than calling a Dominican a Puerto Rican and calling a Puerto Rican a Dominican and just seeing them just spout nonsense and be pissed off.
that's the one thing I wanted to know. Why is that?
Okay, I will say, well, because I come from both backgrounds, I can't really say why. I guess it's because there's a lot of similarities because we both descend from the same people. It just depends on where they settled. So it has a lot to do with the Taino people. The Tainos were like the predecessors to who the Dominicans and Puerto Ricans were. And so some of them went to live in Puerto Rico and some of them went to live in Dominican Republic. And all in all, we're pretty much the same people, but it's just like there's some cultural differences that we don't agree with. Like we have different accents when we speak Spanish, and we have different slang terms for different things. Like,
Oh, okay.
and it's just small cultural differences. And then I guess people just blew it out of proportion because I know for a fact Dominicans, or at least in my family, we love to over exaggerate. We love to over exaggerate. So I guess we over exaggerated like the entire beef, I guess you could say. But all in all, we all love each other because we're all coming from the same place.
True.
Except that Puerto Ricans are citizens and Dominicans aren't. So because I was born in Puerto Rico, I'm a citizen. So
For us,
I will say though, it was a very smart choice for my parents to have me in Puerto Rico. They actually did have me in Puerto Rico just so I could become a citizen and have rights.
Oh yeah.
And then they piggybacked off of me and my older brother to come to the States. Because it was easier to get into Puerto Rico than it was into the continental United States. Because back then, before 9/11 and before like TSA had really like strict laws regarding like air travel, it was fairly easy to get into the States, like ridiculously easy. But then in 2000, somewhere around the 2000s, Puerto Rico had like this whole thing where they were falsifying counterfeit birth certificates.
Wow.
So the Puerto Rican government had to have everyone renew their I didn't know renewing a birth certificate was a thing.
Same, bro. What the
So,
heck? I
really-
thought once you get your birth certificate, you just stay with that for your rest of your life.
You do, but you can order a new birth certificate in case yours gets ripped or something. You just got to go back to the state or country in which you were born in because they keep records of all of that shit.
I know.
It used to be harder back then because everything was more analog, but now that everything is digital, those are kept on storage drives for fucking ever.
Now that we need to talk about too is the internet too, is because
Fuck, yo, the internet fucked me up, man. The internet fucked me up.
and internet has everything, but
The internet got their finger in fucking everything. I will say.
So basically, even like our accounts, I bet they have every information that we have.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You think that
We're protected or
you
privacy or
you
not.
think VPNs work, motherfucker? Hell no. VPNs don't fucking work. VPNs don't work. Shit like the dark web, that shit don't work if you think you're protected from that shit. And I'm pretty sure that even now someone's listening in on us.
Yeah.
For a fact.
the government.
The internet is fucking wild.
Sometimes
that's-
I don't really trust the internet. Sometimes
I don't trust the internet at all.
I mean, technology is.
I knew I
growing.
didn't trust the internet the first time I found porn.
Ah.
The first time I found porn, listen, I couldn't have been like 8, 9-ish, right?
Yep.
I did what every 8, 9-year-old did. I went on CartoonNetwork.com. I went on Cartoon Network because Cartoon Network I felt like had more adult cartoons for young kids. That's where they had all the fire shows.
Oh yes! Oh my
Like
god!
fucking
back
like
then.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. That shit was terrifying. Why the fuck was it scary? That shit had no business being as scary as it was for a 9-year-old. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. That shit was weird.
Yeah, because you got
Camp
imaginary.
Laszlo, creepy as fuck.
What did you think of Camp Laszlo?
Camp
I
Laszlo
really-
was fucking weird. Why would they put a monkey in a camp with a bunch of other animals? That shit was weird. Happy Tree Friends, creepy as fuck.
I love that. shit.
Monster House. To this day, I refuse to watch Monster House.
What was Monster House?
Monster House was this Halloween movie that they played on
it
Cartoon
like
Network. It's the house that came alive, but it was like the soul of this old man's dead wife.
Oh yes. Oh my god! It's those 3 kids.
Yes, that shit was fucking creepy as hell. And then there was also that one Halloween special where this girl who had like this whole entire other family, but they only appeared during Halloween.
Oh.
I fucking hated those movies. Those movies were fucking weird. You know what also
I
was weird?
remember that movie.
The Goosebumps show.
Oh man.
The intro itself. Okay.
Like a whole 3 minutes.
The whole 3 minutes of just some creepy G floating throughout this town, making shit. But I want you to put in a clip of the intro, because that shit was fucking weird. Okay, right
spent
here.
3 minutes
Right
of
here.
actually an intro.
Put like 5 seconds of the intro. Okay, so there should be some sort of fucking intro to that shit. That shit was fucking weird. But that's besides the point. The internet was weird when I found porn.
But yes. Yes. Let's move on from that one. Let's move on from that one. Yes.
Okay, I will say though, meeting Nolan North though.
Oh yeah. you need to
Meeting
talk
Nolan
about that.
North was so surreal. So to preface this,
You got to meet Richthofen.
I
You
got-
got to meet.
Yes.
You got to meet the Assassin's Creed.
I got
you
to
got
meet-
to
no,
meet
I got to
every
meet- I got
game
to-
character's dream.
he's also the voice of Deadpool in the video game.
I remember that too.
So I'm pretty sure you can put a picture of it somewhere. Have you done a face reveal yet?
I mean, some people probably know my face right now.
Do some of
because-
your subscribers know what you look like? This is
Yeah.
going on your channel, by the way.
Yeah, I mean it's mostly on my Instagram because.
Okay, so I'll give you the picture so you can post it there on in the podcast. But
I wasn't there. He was. Not
He
me.
wasn't there, so it's a photo of me with Nolan North. So to preface this, right, he was at an event called Fan Expo. I'm pretty sure we just doxed ourselves because I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist anywhere else besides the state that we're in. But I won't say the state. So he was at this convention called Fan Expo, and I wasn't originally planning to go, but I only went because it was free. Like, the people I was going with paid for me. So I went, and I'm going through, I bought so much shit. I bought pop figures, plushies. I bought a fucking sword.
What kind of sword?
I bought a bamboo sword. It was Tanjiro sword from Demon Slayer. Because I do love anime. So, and this was like an anime themed convention, which is why I thought it was weird that I saw that person there, when I saw Nolan North there, because this is like, for anime enthusiasts, why the fuck is Nolan North here? Nolan North has made the Uncharted games. Like, that motherfucker has no business being in a goddamn anime convention. So I'm walking through the convention and I see all these famous names. I'm talking heavy hitters. Giancarlo Esposito, who plays the villain from The Boys and the Far Cry 6 villain. He's just in a bunch of, and the villain in The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. Like, that motherfucker's in there. Ewan McGregor, who plays the younger version of Obi-Wan Kenobi, was there.
You seen him, Aaron? Oh my God.
I saw Ewan
So
McGregor.
you met Jesus or Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I didn't meet him because they were having a meet and greet, and his line was so long. But I saw him in person there, and Gina Carano was also there, who does Stormfront in The Boys. Tom Welling was there. I don't know if you've ever seen Smallville.
Oh yes.
Yes,
Smallville,
the old version,
Superman.
the old Superman before he became Superman. He was there as well. David Tennant was there. I don't know if you ever seen like Doctor Who.
Oh no, bro.
But Doctor Who, he's the most famous version of the Doctor in Doctor Who. He was there as well. And just a bunch of the fucking Oh God.
I mean, you've probably seen a lot of actors. And
I've seen a lot of voice actors. Like the entire cast of Demon Slayer was there. The entire cast of My Hero was there, and there's a bunch of arbitrary characters, like odd one-off characters that I've seen as well. Everybody went to go see the Demon Slayer and the My Heroes.
But I feel like every line that you were trying to get to were all full. But
They were super full. But the thing about Nolan North, actually, there was nobody in his line.
that's kind of sad.
There-
but
it
I
was-
would have totally spent a lot of
It
money
was-
just to come see him.
It was actually okay. So in order to meet a person and like one of those conventions, they have tiers, which means you pay a certain amount of money for different shit. Like some only do autographs, some only do pictures, some do like the whole shebang, and it really just depends on who you're meeting that they do different things. Like I know for Gina Carano, who does Stormfront, she was charging $130 just for a photo picture, like just for a picture with her, not even to like get an autograph to meet her or nothing like that. It was just a picture, which I guess would make sense because like she's pretty big and this is like a pretty small convention.
And how popular the Boys Amazon Prime show got too.
Yeah, like
Like-
compared to other conventions, like this is small, and like compared to like stuff like Comic-Con and other stuff like that, this is fairly small. So I could understand why she charged more. Nolan North, to meet him, I only paid $70.
It's a
And
perfect amount.
that included meeting him, talking to him. I got like 6 pictures with him, his autograph, and because like I was only one of the few people in his line, I talked to him for like a good while. I talked to him for like a good 20-30 minutes, which I kind of like about people like him because he's surprisingly humble. Like I know he probably got millions of dollars in the bank,
Like some actors, when you get into their line, they're like, "Oh, got your picture,"
and
time to
that's
go."
it. Like they're very robotic, but he was so genuine, and I think that's what adds to like his charm and why I really like resonate with him, because the characters that he played really shaped my childhood, and to know that he's somewhat like these characters that he plays in real life, I guess you could also say like is really comforting, because compared to other people who are very robotic compared because of like the lives that they've lived and the popularity that they're getting, he was super duper humble, and it was just really nice to meet him. And I think like that's something like I would like
Experience
cherish.
again, man.
I will, if he ever comes back, and I'm pretty sure he'll come back, I will definitely go see him, because there was someone in front of me, and the person that was in front of me had actually met him before,
Wow.
and he recognized them. He recognized one of his fans, called him out by name,
Damn.
and remembered how they met at the other convention that he was at a Comic-Con in New York.
That's how a good. Oh, that seems like a good friend to actually make.
That's so genuine to me, and I think that's why I just love Nolan North so much. And then he had told me about something new that he's going on with, and this new video game. And I asked him, it's like, over the years, how is it that you like be so genuine about the characters you play? Because I know that a lot of the characters you play, some of them might seem repetitive and stuff like that. And he told me that it's just a shit ton of fun. He said it just like that. So
That's what I love too. Is that I wanted, my first dream was to actually be a game voice character.
I've always
so
wanted
you
to
can
be a voice
actually, have something in life that you can go back and remember by all those games that you actually voice for. Because I remember Nolan's voice from a game called Call of Duty Zombies, and that was my first reaction when I first met him. Then after that, it started building off from there when I started playing other games and I started hearing his voice. I think the last game I was trying to play was Destiny. He plays as the main, I guess the main character called Cade 6, but oh my god. Well, no. It was a different character. He played until like a DLC before that happened. But the way how I met Nolan was through a game, but not like in person. It's just the way the first game was Call of Duty, but oh my god, it brought me so much freaking joy for the decades that I got to actually hear his voice and play as him and actually learn all of those characters of the game world. But Nolan North, I'm glad you got to meet him. There's one character I really want to meet, but during the year 2020, he had like a stroke in his Tom Kane, one of the characters of my Call of Duty game. He plays as the character called Takeo Masaki. So that's where I got my name from. Some of you, my viewers, know that my Facebook name is actually that too. I stuck with that name since like maybe 2016 or 17 when I started. But yeah, That he was my main character that I would love to actually play as Takio, because he is like the least character liked in the Call of Duty franchise.
The motherfucker doesn't speak. He's a strong silent type.
But he has honor in himself.
Fuck that shit. I want to hear the voice lines. You want to know my favorite Rick Toffin voice line? It was from Black Ops 3, the zombies, and he just goes, "Eeny, meeny, miny, shotgun." You don't fucking hear that from Takio. You don't.
Oh, you do hear some voice lines.
And
I will put some voice lines for you right now.
Okay, if you can, see if you can find the voice line where Rick Toffin just tells the box to fuck off.
I will.
That shit is so fucking funny. See, that's the thing that I like about Nolan North, is that he can encapture all these different characters and make all these characters seem very different and very unique, even though they're all coming from the same voice. Which is why I didn't think that Nolan North was a real person at first. Because the first time that I encountered Nolan North was when I was playing Assassin's Creed, the first one, which was way back when. And he voiced the character of Desmond Miles and Altair Ibn Ahad. And
Altair. I was trying to remember that name, man. I just remember Ezio, Connor Kenway.
Well, Retonaketon is actually his Native American name.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
What does that mean?
And shit, that's a different language from our.
Well, because what language is it that you speak?
I speak Navajo. We all have different types of.
You all have different like languages, right?
Yes.
Or like different dialects.
Different dialects, yes. We all speak it a different way from how we're saying it. So basically, Navajo, you use a lot of tongue just to speak your words, but you're speaking the words backwards. For other things like Zuni, Pueblos, Apaches, Hopis, Comanches, a lot of tribes, they all speak languages, but they're all in different ways. Some of them are same, but some of them are very different from each other tribes that we encountered. Yes, but my language, I want to learn. I do learn some words, but it's just hard to actually pronounce the words right, because I need someone to actually guide me if I'm actually saying it right, because if I'm not really saying it right, then I'm not actually speaking my language right. So that's the reason why I want to
I'll be fucking up my Spanish. It's all good. I'll be fucking up my Spanish. But when I first encountered Nolan North, I played a bunch of his games without realizing it was him. So I played Assassin's Creed, then I played Uncharted, and then I played Black Ops Zombies. And then I was like, why does this all... They all vaguely sound familiar. And so I go and I look them up. I'm like, they're all the same person. Which I thought was really cool, because the fact that he can make his voice sound... He can throw his voice around and make it sound so unique and just turn on and turn off all these characters, like, seemingly at the push of a button is really cool. And I feel like voice actors don't get, like, the recognition they deserve, because I guess it's not real acting in terms of what he does in the business. Because everyone wants to say, oh, anybody can just talk and make money off of it. They're not really doing full body acting. They don't have to do hours and makeup and rehearsals and stuff like that, which I feel like isn't fair, because when you're a voice actor, I feel like all you get is just a general description of who your character is, and then you're left to your own devices.
Yeah, I feel like you just get a script out of your words, what you gotta say, and then they throw it into the game, because without you knowing that you have those lines in.
Exactly, and I feel like when you're voice acting, you don't get a clear picture of what the character looks like. I feel like you just get the description and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you're just left to like try to figure out what they would sound like.
Because I feel like on some games that they make, they have the character put it in a full bodysuit and actually
motion capture.
Yeah, motion capture it. But some of them, I feel like they just record the voice,
and
then
that's it.
Yeah, then do the motion cap.
when I was talking to Nolan North, he had told me that the person that he was playing the son of, so he was playing Desmond Miles, and there was another actor who was playing William Miles, who's the character's father. He never knew who the actor was.
Oh.
And it turned out that the actor who was playing it was at the booth across from him, and he never knew. And it wasn't until a fan told him that that was the person who played the character. And so He was like, yeah, we're actually good friends. I've known him for 20 plus years. Never once knew that was the person who played that character. Because when you're a voice actor, a lot
Your
of the time,
voice really changed from the
one, your
game.
voice really changes, and two, a lot of times you don't record with the other characters in the game or whatever
Yeah.
you're recording. You're pretty much just in a sound booth recording lines.
Yeah, you just getting your script in, and after that, you move on to the next script.
And
you're
sometimes you're just working on multiple scripts at once.
Yeah, because
But-
I feel like, when I was watching like a video of how people were making the game, they said they spend like total plus hours or days just to get every script from that book just to finish.
And I will say that a lot of the times when you're having a conversation, you wait for the person to respond so you know how to like have your tone. But sometimes you don't have that when you're a voice actor. You just have the
Yeah.
lines and you're supposed to just react and respond the way that you think the other character is speaking, which is very difficult, and which I think voice acting is more difficult than normal acting. Although I will say that normal acting doesn't.
I feel like they juggle here and there. Movie acting.
it
then game
depends. It
acting.
depends on what's being brought to the audience.
Oh yeah, I heard there was a place. Madam Web is getting recorded somewhere over here. in
Madam
North
Web is being recorded in our state.
Yes.
That is okay. Madam Web is the new Spider-Person movie, right? That's the one with Madam Web, all these different versions of the Spider Gang.
Yeah, the Spider Gang. So I will pull up a clip of what my sister showed me, and oh my God, it was very, very, very crazy of what my sister was saying. So they were actually building a diner for a couple of months now, and my sister's been driving it by it so many
Where
times
is
at
this
work.
diner?
So I don't know where it is. It's like you.
Well, you can say the streets because like
I
this-
don't remember the street name, but I have the
Oh, okay,
the message
so
popped
so
up.
it is filming the okay.
Yeah,
All right,
so
that's
it's
all
in
that
this
matters.
area
That's all that
over
matters.
here.
It's in the general area of where Dev lives, and so, the Madam Web movie does have a lot of controversy and backlash surrounding it.
Because she's like probably
Who-
the
who-
Queen Spider is.
She's Madam Web, so she's like the person who controls like the spider powers and tells like who's becoming like the next spider.
I
person.
feel like she's like the watcher of the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, but then again, you have to also remember that like, if all right, what's the best analogy to put this with? So you know, in Marvel comics, like the one above all and the one below all.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like Madam Web is the one above all, and then Null is like the one below all, because Null is like the leader of the symbiotes, like where
Yeah.
Venom comes from.
his own planet of symbiotes.
Exactly. But I don't know. I feel like I'm not holding out hope for the Madam Web movie. Not because it's a bunch of women, but because not a lot of people know about Madam Web.
Yeah, it's just basically all kinds of things are just put through comics.
Yes.
And no one hasn't really got to touch a comic of like how those characters are. Just the main Avenger characters, just Captain America, Iron Man, Thor.
Yeah,
and all
which I
those.
feel like isn't fair because there's so many good comic book characters out there. It's
Yeah.
just depending on who the story gets thrown to and who's producing like either the show or the animation or the movie. It could really go 50-50 like with the She-Hulk series. Like She-Hulk is a fire character in the comics, but because of like who it's being produced by, because Disney owns Marvel right now, so Disney's the one producing the show, and because of that, the CGI for the She-Hulk show looks fucking wild. She looks unnatural as fuck, which
I for some reason I don't even think I would give a chance to watch it, but I will try. I haven't even decided to watch.
I will only give it a shot because she's breaking the fourth wall like her original character was. If she wasn't breaking the thing I like is that they bring most of it to life in the show, but there's a lot of spots where they're just missing the mark.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the CGI, like if the CGI wasn't ready, like granted they did fix a lot, but if the CGI isn't ready, then don't push for it.
Right.
Wait until it's completed.
The most show that's been underrated is Eternals. Their CGI and everything.
No.
Have you seen like the picture?
I have seen Eternals.
I didn't really care for like the story, but I really care for like the scenery of the pictures.
The visuals. I forgot what her name was. The one who has super speed.
I don't know what her name is. I don't remember all their names. I just remember
There's so
Icarus.
many. There's so many. Icarus, the fucking main guy.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
Yeah, sure. So, I will say the visuals for
And
the
Angelina
speedster.
Jolie.
She's. I will say they did capture like the sheer size of the Celestials. I will say, so that whole storyline does not make any fucking sense to me.
Right, dude.
It makes no fucking sense because there's like Eternals, but then there's Celestials, and then there's shit above Celestials, and it's just a lot.
And they say Thanos is a part of a Celestial.
No,
too.
they say he just has the deviant gene, whatever. The
Oh
fuck
yeah,
that means.
yes.
He's
I'm
he's
dumb right
an
now.
Eternal with the deviant gene. But you think they're bringing the mutants to the MCU?
I feel like they are because I know they're coming out with a comic book series on Disney Plus.
Nah, they came out with the Inhumans though. Like the Inhumans. Okay, talking about the Inhumans. Have you ever seen Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? It was a show on ABC.
Hell no, I haven't
It
even
was-
got to watch the
That show is so fucking good. I feel like that show is underrated. It's like when Phil Coulson came back and like people thought he was dead, but he like
faked it out.
yeah.
Reverse card.
So originally that show was canon, like to the Marvel universe, but then Disney bought Marvel and then retconned it. So then now it's not canon. But then there's still some parts from the show that actually make sense in the movies. Because the reason why the Avengers are in the place that they are at the beginning of Age of Ultron was because of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But that was before Disney bought it. So then after that, now it just doesn't make sense. And the show went on for like, I think 6-7 seasons. It's really good.
I need to give it a shot just to see.
And
how
it introduced the Inhumans. Which, I'm going to be honest, if anybody knows the difference between Inhumans and mutants, please let me know, because I swear to God, it's the same fucking thing. I'm pretty sure I just pissed off some people by saying that. But
But seeing Black Bolt and Doctor Strange,
he's an Inhuman, and he showed up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon or not?
I feel like it will probably be.
I feel like it's
all
some
story into one, because they can't just actually put one story out of their main universe.
I will say some parts have to be canon.
Yeah.
But Multiverse of Madness, crazy.
Yeah, because
For those of you that don't know, Sam Raimi did direct
Strange.
Multiverse of Madness, and he was also the one that directed the original live-action trilogy
Of
of
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. You know, the most famous one, the one that everyone grew up with, the fire one.
the Tobey Maguire version,
Yup.
or Bully Maguire, what people would say.
Where did that meme came from him when he had
The Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
Because the symbiote took over
God,
him, and he's just.
you know what? People hate on it, but I love that dumpster fire so much. That fucking dumpster fire of a movie was so good.
All he did was just. Oh my god.
The fucking pelvic thrusting. That shit was so fucking funny. But back on...
he moved his hair right in front of his face, and
fucking-
bam, he's emo.
That shit was so funny. But with Multiverse of Madness, I think that's got to be like the best MCU movie to date. It had...
He still gets the eye shots. I know that.
I know
Every
people
movie
are going to
does.
say that No Way Home was like the best one because they brought back Tobey and Andrew Garfield. But
Everyone's talking about that, bro. Like,
I'm not gonna
everyone
lie.
was shitting on Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man when it first came out.
That's what I hate about that movie specifically. I loved Andrew
loved
Garfield's
every-
Spider-Man.
I loved every Spider-Man.
Here's the thing. I resonated more with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man than any other one because that one sticks more closely to the
Actual Spider-Man.
actual Spider-Man in the comics. Because in the comics, it was actually Gwen Stacy who he met first. He didn't meet Mary Jane or Harry Osborn until he was in college. So it was Gwen Stacy that he met first, and the way that his suit looked was so amazing. Not in the first Amazing Spider-Man movie, but the second one with the big bug eyes. It was just so perfect, and he was so grounded in who he was as a character.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people make the argument that Tobey Maguire had the best Peter Parker. Like, he encaptured like the whole awkwardness and the whole weirdness of who Peter Parker as a character was.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
And then Andrew Garfield really captured
The Spider-Man.
the Spider-Man, and with the one with the quips and the comebacks, and that Tom Holland was the best mix of both, which I don't really like because I feel like when they introduced Tom Holland, he really relied on Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man too much.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, he worked with Iron Man, but
I got one thing too to say about that. I kind of didn't really care for the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
I didn't care for him either. I remember when it was revealed on Instagram, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, when the first one and the second one came out, I didn't get to watch any of it. I only got to watch a glimpse of it when I was in high school.
I will say he does have the best suit though.
He does have the best suit
No,
because it
the
actually
best-
his
the-
eyes attraction. Yeah.
Yes, he has the emotional eyes, the reactive one. But the thing that I don't like is that they never used his suits twice.
Mm-hmm.
They never use it more than once. Like, Although
He's always in a different
He's
suit.
always in a different suit. Like, come
But
on,
a
give the man
darker.
some. Just give the man some consistency. I
He-
think his homecoming suit was the best one, like the red and blue.
Yeah, a
It
really
was the
good
best
fighter.
one. It was fucking phenomenal. And then in No Way Home, they gave him the black suit,
They gave him like a red
and black suit, which
gold.
which was okay, but it was like kind of iffy. And then No Way Home gave him fucking 3 suits. He had the Iron Spider suit, he had the red and black suit, and then he had like the upgraded suit where he had like the nanotech on top of his red and black suit, which was kind of cool.
A little bit of nanotech though, because remember how some of his nanotech.
Yeah,
was
that's what I'm
still-
saying. That's
yeah.
the upgraded suit, the one with the chest piece.
But the reason though, when Doctor Strange put his curse out saying that he'll forget anybody, do you think his suit forgot about him too? Because
Well, yes, that's why he had to make a whole new suit at the end of the movie, because his suit entirely was relying on Stark tech.
But look at that too, because Stark is dead in that time. But
Yes.
how would that mind of the suit actually think?
Because remember,
Because Tony Stark gave him the word of him taking
Yes.
that suit, and that suit only works on him.
yes, but the facial recognition does not remember him. So anything and everything, it's just gone. Anything or anybody that remembers him is just gone.
Except Doctor Strange.
No, I think Bruce Banner and Thor, because they were off-world when that happened. So I think they're the only ones who still remember who Peter Parker is.
No, do you remember Wong and Strange in Multiverse of Madness, the same Spider-Man?
Yes, but at the end they forgot because he completed the spell.
No, this is in Multiverse. That was in No Way Home when they were talking
Oh, you're talking about Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, because after when Multiverse Madness came out, I'll show you guys a clip right now of what I'm talking about. But yeah, it shows of of Doctor Strange with his talking with, what was her name? Captain?
America Chavez?
Yes, America Chavez. Doctor Strange was talking with her in Wong.
Oh,
and
he
just-
did mention Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But see, he mentioned Spider-Man and not Peter Parker.
There you go.
He knows
okay.
he knows Spider-Man, but he doesn't know who his secret identity. But yeah, man, poor Peter's forgotten except for Thor and Bruce Banner. No, Bruce Banner was on the planet, so he forgot. So I think Thor is the only one who remembers who Peter Parker is. But I will say,
Do you think though it's just Earth itself? That
yes, he
forgot?
said everyone on the planet. So he said specifically everyone on the planet.
Not planets.
No,
So not
he
all.
didn't say planets plural. He said planet. So I'm pretty sure the Guardians still know who he is too, because I don't think they were on the planet when that happened.
Yeah, okay.
So the Guardians know who Spider-Man is, and
But
Thor
I don't
knows.
think they met him though.
Yes,
Well,
they did. They met him in
War.
Infinity War and Endgame, so they know who he is.
I never got to watch the Thor and Love and Thunder yet.
I
but
watched Thor: Love and Thunder. It was mid. They kind of made Thor like a himbo.
I know I heard a lot of things about it.
Yeah,
It's
so
more
he's
of
like a bit.
comedy.
He's more like, I get it. They try to do like Thor has peaked in Ragnarok. Like that's it. Peak Thor was Ragnarok.
You just stop at 3. That's it. Don't
Just
go
stop
to 4.
at 3. Don't overdo it. But I will say,
I'm kind of glad that they stopped with the Spider-Man 2.
yes.
The Tobey Maguire one from going to 4. I mean, like, what are they gonna do with 4?
True. They were trying to set up a Sinister Six movie for him. That's what it was. They were trying to set up. That's why there were so many villains in his third movie.
But I remember in one trailer, well, I guess it was just a teaser, I guess you would say. I think they were trying to introduce Carnage as well in that time.
In Toby's movies?
Yeah. In the 4, I guess.
Oh, talking about like the whole symbiotes thing, when No Way Home in that era of movies came out, there was, I don't know if you've seen like the post-credit scene,
Oh,
but Tom Hardy's
Tom Hardy's
Eddie Brock and Venom were in there. He was there, never met anyone, and just disappeared at the end of it. But he did leave a piece of the Venom symbiote behind, which I thought was very weird, because how the fuck? So
Sony is getting a piece for Marvel.
yeah, they had an agreement to have them appear, which is why Eddie's able to appear in the MCU, and so is Tom Holland. But I don't know whether or not they're gonna continue with Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Who do you think makes the best Marvel? Like Disney or Sony? Because I feel like
Well,
Sony wasn't
here's
really
the thing.
doing well.
Sony Sony tries. Sony
I feel like
tried,
they can make a better villain movie than actually a hero
See,
movie.
Sony tried to do. Everyone's trying to do what Marvel does. No one wants to be original. Everyone wants to be like Marvel. Everyone wants to be like Marvel. Well, no, everyone not Marvel. Everyone wants to be like Disney. R.I.P. Stan Lee. Everyone wants to be like Disney, right? Sony wanted to do the whole Disney thing and create the universe. The same thing with Warner Brothers and DC, which is why it failed.
I know. I swear.
They
Warner
don't-
Brothers don't even know.
They
how to
want to
act.
take a bunch of arbitrary characters and just assume that everyone's gonna know who they are without really building them and giving them like a backstory beforehand, which is why the DC universe failed. Not to mention the whole Ezra Miller thing, but that's a whole different story for
They
episode
still
2.
want to continue that.
I know. It's so bad. It's so bad.
But what did you think of the Zack Snyder version of?
I never watched it.
You never watched?
Never.
that one?
I didn't even watch the original version of the Injustice.
Oh my
I've
God.
never watched. The only DC movies that I've watched were Shazam, Aquaman, and Man of Steel, and Wonder Woman. I didn't watch Wonder Woman 1984. I didn't watch anything else. I didn't watch the Justice League movie. And listen, Warner Brothers has a habit of just casting problematic characters.
Let me tell you about the Justice League movie. So, the first one, the theatrical version, that one was made from a Marvel person that was trying to critique that way of actually doing it, because the first producer of trying to make a Injustice League was Zack Snyder. So Zack Snyder was trying to come up with a rated R version of it. So he actually did, but
Is his version unrated?
no, his yeah, you can make it it's unrated too on HBO and rated on HBO as well too. So basically, Zack Snyder version explains a lot more than the actual first movie actually did, because the first movie they really just pushed up all the characters and just into that movie and just like, oh, call that a movie. But no, Zack Snyder actually goes by chapters in the movies and tells stories plot by plot what it missed out from the first movie. But the reason why Zack Snyder didn't get to produce that one is because he had like a little thing in his family that happened. So like a suicide thing, something in his family. So that's why he didn't have time to actually produce that movie and actually get it out until now in 2020 or 2021 when it came
Was it
out.
2021?
I think it was 2020 or 2021 when it came out.
It was one of those. It's what is it? It's like 3 hours? No, like
4-hour movie.
It's a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, compared from like the 1 hour and 30 minute movie.
Jesus. Because I know there was a lot of things in that movie that were cut out from the original cut, and a lot of people were like pushing for him to like release it.
And yeah, and as soon as he finally actually grew enough confidence, he actually did it. And the way how I watched the movie, I watched half of it first and finished the half next day.
Talking about super long movies, I've never watched Endgame.
Oh, really?
Never watched Endgame. If I remember correctly, is 3 hours and 2 minutes long. I've never watched it.
I feel like you sit there and it's done in 20 minutes.
Like I read it. Like I read the synopsis on Wikipedia before I fucking thingy. But you think that's a good place to cut it off for now?
Yeah. Alrighty, well,
All right,
this is the end of the podcast
End
right
of the
now.
pod. Thank you so much for listening. To those who do listen,
Yeah.
This has been the DnA podcast with Devin Angel. If you liked it, please leave some feedback below, and we will try to release a new episode soon. So
Yeah, we got another episode coming soon, so stay tuned to that, and we'll catch you guys soon.
all right.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.